Welcome back to day 9 of the Advent Calendar and the continuation of the Earthbound theme I set out for myself. And as you can see, Earthbound implies that we're getting more Earthspark stuff, and that includes here, Jawbreaker, specifically the Takara version of Jawbreaker. Now, this mold has come out in the US now since the Terran Jawbreaker. There was a US release of this, but at the time that I ordered this, we had heard nothing about whether or not this was actually going to come out in the US, and Takara, has a history of doing better decos. Like, all of their Earthspark figures had superior paint decos to the US ones, so when it became clear that you have a bunch of molds there that had yet to actually be officially revealed by Hasbro, yeah, I jumped on them. So anyway, we got Jawbreaker. We got another one of the Terrans right here. And this is a character who previously did get a release in the line, albeit in a much simpler form. A much simpler toy. And now we have a proper Cyberverse Deluxe of him. So let's get him open and let's take a look at how he is, shall we? I mean, right off the bat, we can see here that the paint job is pretty nice on this figure here. Honestly, when I first ordered this, I assumed that it was like Elite 1 and that it was just going to be a version of the toy that I already bought and unboxed on my Twitch stream. Except that, well, with twice as much paint. But no, that's not what it was. It actually is, in fact, a whole new figure with a whole new deco. And yeah, we can plug the tail in back here, obviously. That 5mm peg there. I guess we'll bring the feet out. I'm just trying to bring the feet out here, like so, and then we've got these missiles as well, and these are probably going to pop in. I guess we can pop them in over here in these 5mm ports here for these cannons. But yeah. This, I believe, more or less, is Jawbreaker in his alt mode. I'm just going to double check on this, though, because the fists sticking out there feels a little bit off. Except, no, that's accurate. That's accurate. To get this guy in alt mode, he does kind of just have his fists sticking out the back there. You can see right here, there's no way that these can fold up. It could have very easily been engineered looking at this. Like, they could have put a bend in the fists to get them to hide away in there. And that would have made this a bit cleaner, but no, that's just not really possible on this toy. And the way the legs are designed, it's very clearly meant that the fists are going to angle up like this, which, yeah, that is a little bit of a negative. I mean, you can also see some bits here, for instance, like the robot feet are just up here as spikes. I mean, it's a choice, I suppose. They kind of blend as, back spikes to the credit of the design, but yeah, they're there. Anyway, articulation in alt mode, we can plug the legs in here and secure them in place, but, we can also unlock them and get that ball joint there. We have knees right here. We have a swivel below the knee as well. A lot of this stuff is kind of just meant to lock in place, though, so keep that in mind. And then we got up and down here, and we got toe articulation there. Tail has a bit of an up and down motion here, and as for the beast head has a static neck and a mouth that opens and shuts. So yeah, you can do stuff like, we need your help, Star Fox, Andros has invaded the Lilat system, that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's, again, just looking around at alt mode there, yeah, we can see that it is a pretty straightforward alt mode. Now, I alluded to another Jawbreaker toy, and so I had to bring it in here just to compare. This is the previous release of Jawbreaker that was available in the US. And yeah, you can see here that there's a massive difference in terms of the actual quality. Like, for one, there's actual paint on this thing. That makes a big difference. Colors are very different. Articulation is a little bit better. But yeah, you can see overall that this is a massive, massive step up for the character here. It's kind of nuts, really, just how much of a difference there is. Anyway, let's move on to transformation. Let's see if we can figure this out, shall we? So, I guess we're going to start here by just, we can see here that you can unpick the legs there, and these shoulder assemblies are going to move up there. We got the robot legs down here. Those are just going to come down. It doesn't look like it's all that difficult of a toy. We've got the torso right here, and oh, this is interesting here. Check this. So, the beast arms are just going to peg in back here. They lock in securely here. And then these shoulders here that, I guess are the hip bones right there. these are going to come up and they're going to come over top and they're going to cover that. I'm actually really impressed by the engineering there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we've got those legs there. We're going to want to detach the tail, obviously. And then, yeah, I think we're almost done now. Yeah, it's like a lot of beast formers in that it's not that complicated of a toy. A lot of beast formers traditionally aren't that complicated. And you can see here, yeah, some really cool engineering going on in the arms. Like, I mean, yeah, we have these bits here that can whop over 90 degrees, so he doesn't have gorilla arms. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. These detach, and yeah, they have a decent amount of range of motion there. Yeah, so we get these around here. And then as for the actual beast head is going to come back here. It's going to fold back. We can see it just pivots up to about there. And then it's going to fold down in here in order to fill in this gap, I guess. Looks like it just, looking at the box image, it looks like it just sits over here. But that fills in the back pretty well, I gotta say. Oh no, it does snap down like that. Okay, cool. But yeah, it just fills in the back. That's pretty nice. And then yeah, as for the actual robot head, we then just bring it out 180 degrees like that. And yep, that is more or less Jawbreaker here in his robot mode. So let's take a look at this guy, shall we? Head sculpt is pretty much on point. This is a very good head sculpt to Jawbreaker, and Takara did a really good job on the paint job here. Like, I really like the eyes. Eyes are more of a purple. Like, it fits really well. The metallic blue on the face is fantastic. Like, just even the expression there, it's just a very, like, just jovial, peaceful expression that is just very fitting for the character. It's really nice. We got the Multibot logo right there for the Terrans. And I really like just, again, the proportions. You know, we got these big knuckle-dragging proportions on him. The gap at the back is very well filled in over here. Like, everything fills in pretty well except, you know, like the back of the legs here. But, hey, I mean, I guess you need to compromise a little bit somewhere. So for articulation, let's see. We have a ball-jointed head. Very good range of motion in the head. Let's see. Waist does not have a swivel of any sort, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well. Arms go round. Arms have a bit in the shoulder there. We have a swivel up here above the elbow. Can do about 90 degrees up, which is pretty good. We saw the swivel below the elbow over there that we used for transformation. There was no wrist articulation, so I guess that's the closest thing you have to a movable wrist. So that's not so bad. Yeah, these bits aren't staying pegged in quite as well as I would like, but they stay pegged in well enough, honestly, for the purposes of this toy. Yeah, we can still store the guns up here in the ports up there. Yeah, ball-jointed hips. Decent range of motion there. No swivel up here, though. It's just down to the knee, and a pretty posable knee because of the transformation. And then, yeah, we have ankle tilts. Not a lot of ankle tiltage, though. Only this much, and there's no up and down. So, like, as far as articulation goes, he's a little bit limited compared to some of the other Earthspark Deluxes. But yeah, and then we can just give him his tail and just peg it in like this. And I guess now he has a bit of a tail sword or a whip or whatever you want it to be. But yeah, honestly, it's a very nice looking figure. Like, this is a really good paint job on this guy. And speaking of figures, we need to put him with his siblings. So, yeah, obviously first we have Twitch, who, you know, as we already established when we did Thrash, is very out of scale with the rest of these. And then we have Thrash over here, who, again, is very out of scale. Jawbreaker as a character, even though the head looks like it's, you know, he should be smaller just because of the size of the head. Jawbreaker in the show is probably like up to here relative to Thrash, and then, you know, Twitch is probably down here. So yeah, the scale differences continue with these figures. These are very much not in scale with each other, but they do look really nice together. Like, this does make me kind of wish I'd gotten the Takara versions of Twitch and Thrash, because Jawbreaker just looks so good here. It's just a really nice looking toy. Like, I don't really have much in terms of complaints with him. Like, the articulation's not that great, but he looks really good in both modes. Of course, for the fun of it, since I have both toys right here, I figured it'd be fun to compare this one with the simpler figure, and it's really interesting just to compare these two. Like, you know, this one obviously is way less paint, and it transforms a bit differently, but, I mean, the bones of it are still there. Like, it's pretty impressive at how much they did manage to get in on this simpler figure here. I mean, they transform a little differently, but I mean, like, yeah, like you can see here, for instance, where like these bits end up here, like rather than being on the sides of the arms, and the feet transform very differently and stuff. But again, yeah, quite honestly, it is very impressive, this simpler figure, what they were able to do. But it's also really, really cool to see just how much more they were able to do at a deluxe price point. I'm glad they were able to make the deluxe of him. So anyway, that's Jawbreaker. I don't know what else there is to say about him, really, except that if you're a fan of Earthspark and you're trying to get all the Autobots, this is a pretty good release of the toy. The US release is now out at retail. I have seen it floating around. I know GameStop in Canada does have this guy. I've seen him in stores. But yeah, the Takara version, if you can get your hands on it, is really, really nice. So with that said, yeah, until the next day, this is Techno signing off.